الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Welcome back, dear brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, we are making a steady progress, inshallah. Today, in today's lesson, we're going to practice about fi'al, and we're going to learn about the feminine version of ism موصول. So in the previous session we did use feminine nouns. So in today's session we're going to see how we're going to convert the masculine noun into a feminine noun and use the feminine ism موصولة, inshallah. So coming to fi'al, so we got three types of fi'al. So we have to understand more about fi'al in this class, inshallah. So first is called fi'al madi. Fi'al madi is past tense, where the action has been done, and in English it's called like a perfect tense because the action has already been done. It's called past tense. And the second type is called fi'al mudari'. Mudari' means it's the present tense where the action is still being carried out. He's writing or he's listening. So that's called imperfect tense or called present tense. And the third is called fi'al amr. Amr means command. So in English, what we say is if you want to say anybody to, for example, sit. If it is a male, you say sit. If it is a female, you say sit. If it is a boy, you say sit. If it is third person, you say sit. So in all the tenses, all the genders, you just use one word. Whereas in Arabic, subhanallah, for every situation and every gender, there is a separate command. That's called fi'al amr. So inshallah we'll going to learn in this in future. It's called verb of command. So we got fi'al madi, the past tense, fi'al mudari', present tense. For future tense, what happens is we use the same verb as fi'al mudari', but we just add seen, sa. So we say aktubu, I'm writing. So then we say I will write, we'll say sa aktubu. So you just add sa. So this not a different fi'al, it's the same fi'al mudari' plus sa. And fi'al amr is a little bit different. So we're going to learn, inshallah. So we're doing fi'al madi for the present. So we need to learn what is the sequence of fi'al. Means first, always when you write, you will always write the verb first. So that's the fi'al. And after the fi'al, you always look for the fa'il. If it is mustatir, or if it is present, or if it is attached. These are the three situations which you will look for the fi'al. Either it is mustatir, whether it is not mentioned after the fi'al, so you have to look before the fi'al, or it will be present, mawjood, after the fi'al. So and the sign we're going to tell is dhamma. So we're going to look for the fa'il, and that is the doer or the subject of the fi'al. And the third thing what you look is maf'ulun bihi, means that's the detail or that's the object of the action. So we got fi'al, fa'il and maf'ulun bihi. This is the normal sequence what we're going to learn, and there will be certain change in the sequence. We will learn about it in the future, but in a regular verb what you'll see is the fi'al, fa'il and maf'ulun bihi. So what are the signs of fi'al madi? The fi'al always ends with fatah. For example, kataba, darasa, fataha, dhahaba. So you take any verb, nasara, sami'a. So any verb that always ends with fatah. And what about fa'il? Fa'il always ends with dhamma. It's marfu. If you see a sign of marfu, we know that is fa'il. And maf'ulun bihi also always ends with fatha. So these are the signs of fi'al. When you're looking at the Jumlatul Fi'aliyah, these are the signs you look for, and you understand what is the fi'al, what is the fa'il, and what is the maf'ulun bihi. Let's practice a fi'l today. So today's fi'l is fataha, means he opened. So we got fataha, huwa fataha, huma fataha, hum fatahu, hiya fatahat, huma fatahata. And we got here sakin pronouns and mutaharrik pronouns where a part of the pronoun is attached to the fi'l and it's still marfu. The fa'il is marfu. So we have fatahna, fatahta, fatahtuma, fatahtum, fatahti, fatahtuma, fatahtunna, fatahtu, fatahna. This is a fi'l. So conversion of masculine verb to feminine. So if you see here, we're telling mudhakkar verb is anta dhahabta. So this is the part of this is the file. So we know because lam kalima has got sukoon, and that is a part of the pronoun. And for the female we'll say anti dhahabti. And how to say for third person, we say huwa dhahaba, means he went. And how you say she went is hiya dhahabat. So what happens is if the muzakkar to muannas, so we will add taw tanisi for the muzakkar verb. So if you have dhahaba, so what you do is you bring taw tanisi. This is not the file, so we won't say this as a file. This is just to show that the action has been done by a female. However, when we have this verb dhahabat or any word, whether it is a noun or a verb, which ends with sukoon, and that word is followed by al. So al plays a lot of role in pronunciation. For example, we know about huruful shams and huruful qamar, but when it comes to any noun which ends with sukoon, now what we have got here is we got a sukoon here. This alif is not a letter, it is just a sound, so we will miss it when there is any word before it. But here we got a letter, but it's got a sukoon, so we can have to pronounce this sound of the letter but not the sound of the vowel sign. So how do we pronounce? If we get zahabat, then our pronunciation stops here, so we can't pronounce. So what happens is, this is called iltiqai sakinaini, where the clashing of sukoons. So something happens here. What we do is, if suppose there is a noun like bintu, so how do we pronounce? We say dhahabatil. So this sukoon turns into kasra. Sukoons turned into kasra, so that it's easy to pronounce. So we say dhahabatil bintu. However, we got to be very careful in reading and pronouncing the right pronunciation. So if you say dhahabti, means you went, because this is a lam kalima has got a sukoon, and taw tanis, this ta with kasra is a fa'il. If you see here dhahabati, lam kalima has got fatha, that means this is a third person, and this ta is taw tanisi. So sometimes you can make a mistake if you are not pronouncing, or if you're not reading properly. Dhahabti is you went, dhahabati is she went. So we got other situations where noun is ending with a sukoon, like man, and what is followed by al. So how do we say? Here the sukoon is turned into a kasra. We say manil waladu. And we got min as well. So this is where we need to be careful in how we pronounce. If it is ma, then noon will get kasra. If it is mi, noon will get a, if it's followed by al, it will get a fatha. So we'll get minal. It's like minal jinnati wan nas. So it is min plus al. So you can't pronounce iltiqai sakinaini. The sukoon turns into a fatha, and depending on the other situation turns into kasra. So we got to remember. Let's do some practice, inshallah, about our fa'il and maf'ulun bihi. So we're saying here dhahaba ahmadu ilal bayti. So dhahaba is a verb. There's nothing attached to the verb. It's a pure third person male verb. So we got to look for the fa'il. So if you see sign of dhamma, so now we know this is the fa'il. So who went? Ahmad went. And always dhahaba comes with ila. So we get to remember dhahaba ila. Dhahaba ahmadu ilal bayt. Jar majrur. Bayti is ism majrur. So how do we say for the feminine? Dhahabat. So we got taw tanisi, and then we got to look for the fa'il. So we see dhamma here. So this is Fatimatu. Dhahabat Fatimatu ilal bayti. This remains the same. So kharaj al-fata. Fata means young boy or young man. Kharaj al-fata. So we don't see sign of dhamma here because this is alif maksura. This is just like a sound, so it doesn't have any sign. So but we know that the sign is actually marfu because that is the file. Kharaj al-fata min al-fasli. So if you see here why it is the fatha, we know why it is fatha here. So we're telling the young man went out from the class. How do you say? Kharajatil fatatu. So kharajatil fatatu min al-fasli. The young lady went out of the class. Jalasat ala kursi. Jalasta. Jalasta means, if you see here, lam kalima has got sukoon. So now we know this ta is a fa'il. That is anta. You. So you sat ala kursi. So now we can understand the whole verb and the sequence. Jalasti is you feminine. This ta is a fa'il and ala kursi is a jar majrur. Ala kursi. So waqafal mudarrisu. Waqafa means stand. So who stood? The mudarrisu. So we look for the file. Waqafal mudarrisu. The mudarris stood amama saburati. Amama is zarf, and what follows zarf is mudaf ilayhi. So in front of what? Saburati, blackboard. And if you want to say lady teacher, we have to change the whole thing. Waqafatil. So we make the verb into a feminine word, which is at ta'u tanisi, and we need to have a feminine fa'il as well. So we can't have waqafatil mudarrisu. We have to say waqafatil mudarrisatu or waqafal mudarrisu. Waqafatil mudarrisatu amama saburati, in front of teacher. So here we got fa'al, fa'il and maf'ulun bihi. If you see, fa'il ending with fatha, fa'il with dhamma, and maf'ulun bihi with fatha. Fatha means he opened. So who opened? Al-abu. The father opened what? Al-baba. We don't say al-babu, it is al-baba. So fatahatil ummu. So who is the file here? Fataha. See, this is third person. If it is fatahti, that means you opened. But if it is fatahatil, so we need to look for the file. So we see here al-ummu. So she, that is the file, the mother. Fatahatil ummu al-baba. Darasa talibu darsa. Darasa means he studied or he read. At-talibu is a file. The student read. Darsa means, ad-darsa means is a lesson. The student read the lesson. So we say how for the female, darsati talibatu ad-darsa. So the verb and the fa'il have to match. So we can't have the other. We can't say darasat talibatu. We can't say, or we can't say darasati talibu. So the both have to agree. There are certain situations where you can use it, but we will learn it in future, inshallah. So now coming to ism موصول for muzakkar, we have done alladhi. So where we use, which is like adjective clause, where it's like describing the noun which comes before it. So we're going to do today the feminine version of ism موصول lil muannath, which is allati. Allati. So let's use some examples to be clear. So we're saying here hadihi fatimatu. This is Fatima. Allati kharajat. The one who went out. Kharajat. See, third person, and this is ta'u tanisi. She went. So we're telling Fatima is the one who went. So we have hadihi nafidatu. This is the window. Allati futihat. That which is open. So hadihi hiyal haqibatu. So if you see hadihi is mubtada, and if you see this sentence here, so if we go to our knowledge of types of khabar, so we did mention that jumlatul ismiya can come as a khabar for a mubtada. So we have hadihi is mubtada. Here is again there is a jumlatul ismiya. If you leave this hadihi, if you just read from here is mubtada, al-haqibatu is khabar, and allati is ism موصول describing haqiba. So this is It is. So if you are using here for object, we say it. It is the bag that is تحت المكتب. So this whole mubtada, khabar, and ism موصول and silatul موصول, everything is coming as a khabar for هذه. If you remove here, so what will here happen is, if you say هذه الحقيبة, هذه الحقيبة, so you say this is the bag, this bag, that which is under the table. So we are still waiting for the khabar. So the sentence is not complete. So to make it give complete sense, so we have to bring here. So we say this is the bag that which is under the table. So inshallah we're going to do this again. So if you catch it, it is fine. If you don't, then don't worry about it. Inshallah we'll practice again. So as-sayyaratu, so it is mubtada, and allati is describing as-sayyaratu. It's a feminine word, so we have a feminine ism mawsula. As-sayyar allati kharajati. It has to be kharajat, but because it is followed by al, we say kharajatil an. The car that which went out now, li is mine. So if you see as-sayyaratu is mubtada, li is khabar, but the allati ism mawsula and silatul mawsul is describing as-sayyaratu. So al-qalamu, so if it is a mudhakkarur noun, al-qalamu, the pen, al-lazi, that which is fawq al-maktabi, on top of the desk, li nasirin, belongs to Nasir. So al-qalamu li nasirin is mubtada and khabar. So in between what comes is the ism mawsula and silatul mawsul. So we have to use a right type of silatul mawsul. If it is a masculine noun, use alladhi. If it is feminine noun, we use allati. Let's some more practice inshallah. Tilkal hirratu. Hirratu is a pussy cat, the cat. So tilkal hirratu. So tilka is mubtada, al hurratu is badal. So here is a classical example there. Tilkal hirratu allati ala shajarati. So we still need the khabar. That cat, that which is on the tree, what about it? Laha, that is the khabar, belongs to her. So an al-fata, the young man, al-lazi, that who is in the sabura, in the zarf, as-saburati is mudaf ilahi, it is coming as a silatul mawsul for al-lazi. So we still need to have news. The young boy that who is near the board, what about him? Min Malaysia. So he is from Malaysia. So final slide inshallah. Al-fatatu, the young lady, allati dhahabat ila suqi Fatima. So if you see here mubtada, allati is ism mawsula lil muannath and dhahabat ila suq. As we always, dhahaba comes with ila, so this is all connected. So one, Fatima is the one who went, the young lady who went to the market is Fatima. So this is how you translate and understand mubtada, ism mawsul, silatul mawsul, and khabar. And al-baytu, the house, allazi fi shari, that which is on the street, lil wazir, belongs to wazir, belongs to the minister. So these are the feminine verbs and feminine ism mawsula we have learned. So inshallah practice and keep it in mind, and we will continue in our next session. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.